So, Coach?
Could not be more proud of this group of young people. What they did all year just took us all on a ride. Our staff, our school, our state took us on a ride. We all wanted to win those last two. These kids wanted to win it in the worst way. But you got to give Wisconsin credit. They did to us what we have done to teams. We came down, and I'm going to look at the tape, and there's some things I probably should have done a timeout here. I should have maybe changed up something, but we normally execute down the stretch, and we didn't. And they did. They made plays down there, and we didn't, but can't take away. I know everybody's going to say, this season is historic. You know, I just can't believe anybody's going to do what these kids just did to get to this point, unblemished, with the schedule they played, and then how they did it.
Questions for the young men, please. Raise your hand and we'll get a microphone to you. Yes, back in the back.
Josh McKinney, WYMT, TV and Hazard, Kentucky. For all four players, how will you most remember this season and what you all were able to accomplish?
Willie?
Just being around a bunch of unbelievable guys, and the way we all came together as like brothers. You know, we'll never be on the same team again like this, so I mean that's gonna set in. You know, we got a month of school left with each other, and that's it. So, I mean, that's what you'll remember.
Aaron?
Just like you said, we had a lot of fun this season. One of the best times of my life, and I wouldn't trade it for anything. We didn't finish like we were supposed to, and we got beat, so they deserve the game.
Right here.
Could you kind of talk about what you think happened? You had the lead at 60-56 in the last 6 minutes, went over 5 minutes without scoring. What kind of happened there on offense to get you guys out of sync?
Question for Andrew.
Maybe I didn't execute. I mean, we didn't execute as a team, but me being a point guard, I didn't do what Coach told me on a couple of occasions.
He did fine. He did fine.
Over here.
George Schroeder, USA Today. This is for Carl.
Carl?
Just a very crafty player and great skills, and he uses his height to his advantage.
Questions, please. Right here in the front.
Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. For you, Carl, down the stretch, that Notre Dame game is, you guys went to the bigs, got the ball, and that's how you won. Were you surprised that you didn't get the ball more down the stretch?
That's not the case whatsoever. Coach did a great job. We all day coming up to this game. We had an absolute beautiful game plan, and we just got beat. I mean, we can't go by a coaching decision. That was without Coach Calipari, we don't even get to 38 at all, and neither this 39th game. So there's no way it was a coaching decision.
What he saying? What he said.
Any more questions? Right here. Mm-hmm.
Yes, Larry Ball, Danville Advocate Messenger. Willie, could you just talk about what happened rebounding-wise for them to be able to out-rebound you all 34-22?
Willie?
I don't know. A lot of them I think we had and just fumbled it and gave it right back to them for, you know, probably 10 of their points was us just throwing them the ball. I think, you know, we didn't execute checking out and going to get the ball. And that's about it.
Right here.
Bonnie Bernstein with Campus Insiders. This is for any one of you who'd be willing to answer. Such an incredible collection of talent you have, and I was hoping you could sort of talk about what Coach Cal has taught you about being selfless and being willing to play fewer minutes and get lower stats for the sake of trying to win a championship.
Andrew?
Well, first you have to like each other as people, and like all these guys said, that's probably the best part of being on this team, just sitting around laughing and joking with everybody. So it's not as hard to sacrifice especially when you're winning and had the season we did. So.
Back here.
Cliff Early, Sports Byline. For any of the guys, you hear Coach Cal talk about his former players as his guys, his guys. This is your chance. Tell me about your guy. Each one of you, tell us about Coach Cal, what he means to you.
Aaron.
Well, he just made me become the best basketball player I could be at this point, and he's pushed me to limits that I was very uncomfortable. But he's created me to be a great basketball player. Just like not many men can do the things that he does with us, and it's just a great man to be around.
Willie.
He challenged, not just me, but everybody, and anybody that comes in the program. He challenged you in a mental way, and that's what makes you successful. A lot of basketball is all mental, so the way he challenged you mentally and makes you do stuff that you would never thought you would do in your life, that's powerful for men.
We're going to take two more right here.
Robert Littell, Black Sports Online. For the Harrison twins, this was the second time you played Wisconsin. Was there anything different about them this time around that surprised you, or was it mainly like the same team and just the outcome was a little different this time?
Andrew.
Both years we played them, they're a great team. They made some adjustments this year. They made it this far. They're obviously a good team, and we just didn't make enough plays at the end. Can't take nothing away from them, though.
Aaron.
Just like he said, it's a great basketball team, really, and they won today. So.
Last question, please.
Greg Logan of New York Newsday for Willie. It's hard enough to win a national championship as it is, but with the pressure of being undefeated, how much do you think that began to weigh on you guys these last two games?
Willie.
I don't think it weighed in on us, the 40-0 hype. If that was the case, it would have happened, and we would have lost a long time ago. It's just time and circumstances. Like we was up in a crucial part of the game. The last 5 minutes is the game, and we didn't make plays in those last 5 minutes to hold the lead and push it. And if you don't make plays in the last 5 minutes, you will lose. Me being here for 3 years, you will lose in the last 5 minutes if you don't make plays. So that's it.
Thank you, man.
Thanks, guys.
All right, questions for Coach right up here in front.
See you guys.
Coach Noah Kozlov, Cinesport. What did happen after you're up 60-56? Why did you decide to slow the ball down a bit?
We didn't slow it down. We were trying to post the ball. We were trying to run the pick and rolls, the stuff that we were running. They crowded us a little bit, and the guys got a little tentative. But we were trying to still play. The thing that was tough is that we're a finishing team. That's what we've been. And we didn't. They did and we didn't. And that's why they're still playing and we're not.
Right over here.
Taylor Zarzer, Sirius XM. Coach, you said if a team beats you and you give it your best, you can live with the result. Do you feel that way?
Yeah. Yep. I've been doing this so long. I've had some tough losses and some unbelievable wins at the buzzers, and it's all part of this. My concern are these young people right here and making sure they keep this in the right perspective. They just had a historic year. Don't you look at anything else. There's not one kid in this team that would be blamed for us losing this game. If you want to blame somebody, blame me. They made it. We were down 8. The game probably should have been over. And these kids just fought, and we went, all of a sudden I look up, we're up 4, and I'm like, we're going to win this thing. And then, play here or play there, all of a sudden we don't post it. They crowd us, we don't post it again, and we take late shot. We're not a team that gets shot clock violations. I think we got 3. We don't ever do that. But again, this team, the best thing for me, every one of these players has helped themselves, even though they've sacrificed and been selfish. Every one of them has taken their game and their own personal stock to another level, yet they were selfless, sacrificed brothers. They did this together. And you know, I told my wife before the game, we could lose. They're good enough to beat us, and I'll live with it. I mean, I've done this a long time.
Right here.
John, Paul Doherty, Cincinnati Enquirer. Following up on Greg's question, do you think that the burden of being undefeated, the burden of expectations that come with Kentucky, what you have referred to in the last 3 weeks or so as clutter, do you think all that extraneous stuff had any impact on your team tonight?
I think what impacted the game the most was Wisconsin and how they played. I mean, they out-rebounded us by 12 rebounds. That doesn't happen. Now, you think about this. We had 6 turnovers for the game. We shot 90% from the free throw line, 60 from the 3, and 48 from the field, and we lost. What does that mean they did? We struggled to guard them. They shot 47, 48 also. But it was the rebounding and the toughness and the plays around the goal. They made and ones, and we didn't. But you got to give them credit. I mean, I'll be honest, for me, I wasn't thinking 40-0. I was just trying to win the game, get on to another game. I would hope my team was that way, but they're 18 and 19-year-olds. Maybe they were. And it would, you know what, if they were, okay, I'll deal with that too.
Back in the back, this is going to be the last question for John.
Coach, what was the biggest factor in the difference in rebounding?
Well, in the first half, they got 11 points off offensive rebounds where we just didn't come up with balls, but they go after the ball. They ended up with 12, which is not a huge number, but they had a bunch in that first half. We rebounded better in the second half, which is why we ended up going up. But again, we didn't execute down the stretch. We didn't make the plays. That comes back to me, and I'll take responsibility. You know, there were things we were trying to do maybe we shouldn't have done. You know, they were trying to jam it to the post. Well, they crowded. They knew what we were going to do. But I'm proud of these kids. I mean, again, they took us on an absolute ride as a coach, our staff, this university, our state, and you're not going to take it away. I mean, they're hurting right now, but when they look back on this time, they've all improved. They all learned to be a servant leader. Be about someone else more than yourself. In this day and age, they did it. And they fell a little short, and I would imagine people are going to look on this season and say, you know what, who cares? What they did to show all the young kids, you don't have to try to shoot 30 balls. You can do right by your team and still be the #1 draft pick and still get drafted and still your own awards come your way. So proud of these guys. It hurts. Would have loved to have been the 40-0. And it, you know, let's see if we can take another stab at it. But 38 and what these guys did in a row, incredible stuff. Thanks, folks.
Thank you, Coach.